And we are back. And the thing that I am trying to stress is that I have personally seen a rise in the number of cases where men are killing women. They're killing women that they're in a relationship with. And it's at an alarming rate. And it's not something that is just limited to a certain economic class, um, a race of people, an age of people. It is happening across the board. Recently, a lawyer killed his wife and his son. So, okay, so it's just like but it all stems from accepting things that we don't deserve because it's something that we think that we need to endure. You know, a man gonna be a man, but that don't mean that he can't be a good provider. I agree. But that also doesn't mean that you have to put material things above your own health, your own state of mind, your own emotional being. You can't say, well, and I guess some people do. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I got to endure whatever I got to endure, but at least I'm living in Birmingham. At least I'm living in Bloomfield. At least I got this big house. At least I'm have access to different things. I'm sorry. And it starts early. It starts early when he says something disrespectful to you. He doesn't show up. He's letting you know that he's engaged in other relationships. And if you find out he cares not, because he's going to continue to do it. A man can disrespect you and don't even call you out your name. Listen, I'm going to live my life. If I want to be with you on Monday and I want to be with Sarah on Tuesday and Carol on Wednesday, then that's what I shall do. That is what I'm going to do, and that is who I am. And if you have a problem with it, I'm sorry. What's the issue? I know men who've been in situations. Listen, let me tell you, they had wife and five girlfriends at events. They don't care. That's what they do. That's who they are. But who got the ring on? You the wife, so you better than them. Let me tell you something. That ain't nothing but the Jedi mind trick. At some point in time, self-love is paramount to diamonds, Gucci, Chanel, Prada, Louis, your children being in private school, you having a 401k. You have to put a value on your peace of mind. At 58 years old, and I'll be 58 my birthday, I have the vigor and the mindset of a woman half my age because I found peace. Because I am now in a space where I'm not engaging and tolerating disrespect, cheating, manipulation. I just can't do that. And whomever brings that to me, whether they be a parent, a child, a husband, a wife, I have to evaluate it, make a decision, and let it go. I'm not going to live like that. I'm going to have some peace. And that's where I am. And many people will somewhat begin to question, well, why are you acting like that? All my life, at least the part I remember, I went out my way to make other people happy at my own expense. And I'm not doing it anymore. And if you believe that I'm oppositional, I'm mean, I'm nasty, I'm crazy, I'm loony, whatever you want to call me, but I have boundaries. And if it does not bring me peace, it can't be in my life. I'm sorry. It cannot. And that is a place that I am having a one, you had a terrible past with men, it sounds like. Not as terrible as those women that were murdered by men who were disrespectful. I think that they had a little bit worse life. When I was in New York and there was a young, and she was at a shelter, let me tell you, and she got dressed because she told her mother she had not seen her baby's, her child's father. And she was going to meet him. And the reason she was in the shelter, because he had 15 threats on her life. But he said he gonna be better this time. So they were to meet at a subway station. As she's there with the baby, she looking pretty and gorgeous, drop dead. Somebody with a hoodie on came up and put a gun in the back of her head and blew it off. So when you say, I think that she had a little bit more challenging time than I with men. But luckily, I was able to see the warning signs earlier. And the problem is, and I'll say all men are not like that, but those men that have those characteristics, whether they're wealthy, whether they're middle class, or whether they're a bum, identify them and keep it moving. And the problem is, women, we allow disrespect because we want to have a piece of a man. All I got to have is a slice. How do you sound? You're not worthy of the whole thing. Just give me a slice. Just come by here, service me every now and then, and I'm good. I don't need all of that. Because you are settling for what you don't deserve. And you're better than that. And men are doing this and taking advantage of women because they can, and their abundance of women. And men now have their choice. Now, let me tell you this, follow along. As I told you, men get broke, women get old. Follow along. I know men who now, they told me I would go to, just say reunions. And school reunions. And there was a group of women, and they dare not speak with them. They were doctors, lawyers. And if you didn't make at least six figures, you couldn't even, they would just laugh you off. He told me now they blowing up my phone. I'm traveling across the country. Listen, why? Because they rather have a man at least that, has a degree. And even if he making 30,000, they don't care. Just make me feel like a woman. Many of them are older, never been married, have been married, divorced. They just want a piece of a man. So everybody had they fun with him, and he go visit. He don't pay for nothing, and that's where we are now. That we're sponsoring men because we don't want to be alone, and we're lowering our value system because we don't want to be alone. I said one thing about education. I'm not into that. I'm into how you're going to treat me. I don't care about whether you got a degree or not, or what. I'm not even into that. But I'm not going to condone disrespect. I'm not going to condone you not being where you're supposed to be. I'm not condoning you being with other women and we're in a mutual and we're supposed to be in an exclusive relationship. I'm not going to condone it. So you need to keep it moving. So what I try to do, I don't just engage in that. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? Leave that I got too much on my plate I'm trying to deal with right now. But the minute you make a decision that you are going to love you, you are going to be in a good place. I can't tell you. I mean, honestly, it's too beautiful of a day for me to recount the number of cases or the details that I had in cases where men took advantage of very, very good women. I remember a case that's the complete opposite. The woman was beautiful, older woman. She was divorced. Man took her for every penny she had. That's what he did. He was charming. He was witty. He made like he was of wealth. And he would have her and other women invest in his businesses. And what it was is like a pyramid, basically. He's stealing from Anne to give to Carol. And so no one was wiser. So they thought that this man, everything that he had, it belonged to him, and it didn't. So he would take the Jaguar over and visit the one girlfriend, and take the Mercedes and visit another girlfriend, and everybody thinking all the while that this is his, because these women were signing for him to have credit cards that he was doing these things on. And so basically he was lying to these women, getting their money, then having them to invest their pensions, their husband's inheritance in a lie. But very charming and witty. But this is what he did. So let me tell you something. It's bums on all ends of the spectrum, okay? I'll be back.